Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we're going to be talking mostly around operation technology and cybersecurity, particularly for the energy industry. Being IT operations manager at the Alderley Group and having 10 years experience in IT, most of those being oil and gas, what would you say are the three biggest trends for operation technology, cybersecurity in 2022?
Good question. Firstly, thanks for inviting me. What I thought would be good is if we just start off kind of defining what operational technology is in that particular space. And I think for me, it really is a combination really of a digital solution which interacts with a physical process. And really that can range anywhere between things like industrial tools, automated solutions in warehouses, power grids, water treatment solutions, and many more really. And I guess in relation to cybersecurity, and if we're talking about things like trends going into this year and stuff that's been appearing in this space, I think the obvious one to begin with is the IT OT convergence. I think traditional legacy solutions, we've had the OT environment that's completely air gapped away from the IT environment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, what we're seeing there is we're not able to achieve results in terms of using the digital information to present the data, to present reporting capabilities, real-time analysis that can drive decisions and ultimately impact on different areas of the business. The IT OT convergence really needs to be delivered through separation, segregation, resilience, and logical boundaries. But it is essential to obviously understand where the two do join, and it's essential for business to understand the benefits of obviously joining these two solutions together, but obviously in a secure way. I think that's quite an obvious trend, if you like, for the industry. The second one for me really is one we do see quite often, and that is the outdated systems. Unfortunately, I think everybody's familiar with solutions, Windows solutions like Windows XP, and it's something that we see quite often. And the interesting thing is that the solutions that are presented to us initially, the first job is to get that environment up to scratch in terms of the operating system, and build that up and get that ready to evolve and start receiving some of the benefits of introducing the digital solutions that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly is ransomware. I think everybody's very, very familiar with this word, but maybe not so much in the OT space in recent years. But there's been some very, very high profile attacks over the years, and I think that it's almost a byproduct, obviously, by introducing the IT OT convergence here, is that we're introducing more commercially available solutions to the OT environment because we want to get that data, because we want that real-time information and all of the benefits that come with gaining that. We have to use some of the IT tools, the IT management tools, some of the IT solutions as an overlap into these environments, and that will bring the vulnerabilities across, unfortunately. High risk, but obviously the benefits are there for everyone to see, and people are obviously tapping into those and getting real competitive edge there by doing so. But obviously, where they are introduced, if they're introduced correctly and the layers are built up there into the environment, that can be done very, very successfully.
Great. Yeah, thanks for that. And diving into the oil and gas industry, with there being a key focus in digitalising, which of course comes with some risks, why would you say that must the oil and gas sector prioritise cybersecurity, and why must companies prioritise it within their OT environments?
Yeah, I mean, again, not too dissimilar from the IT environment. Firstly, for what we see, this almost comes from a necessity for businesses to want to transform efficiency in production environments by investing in solutions, digital solutions. things from monitoring to potential cost saving, and just gaining those real-time insights into these environments. So in terms of your question, prioritizing cybersecurity, all of that has to be underpinned by cybersecurity, right? There's absolutely no question in my mind that these solutions go hand in hand. It's all about enablement, and it's all about building those solutions to enable the customer, to enable the environment to work efficiently, to get the correct outputs that they want, but also securely. So if we look at the advancements in the IT infrastructure management tools, as I said earlier, more commercially available solutions that are appearing in these environments, it's important that companies are prioritizing the security element as well as looking into the future benefits and some of the more immediate benefits by introducing these. It's getting those security fundamentals right from the beginning that then help you deliver results along the way.
Yeah, okay. And have you got any practical examples of how cybersecurity has helped oil and gas companies?
Yeah. We Alderley have gained the experience in recent years of delivering multiple projects in these environments now, and we are seeing similar patterns that do emerge with customers. And one of them is that I think there's been a slight misconception around the air gapping environment, which is the legacy kind of architecture of OT, that as it's air gapped, it's completely safe and completely avoid of any risk and things like that. But we know from if we look into some of the archives of some of the massive cyber attacks in OT, one of them being Stuxnet, which was delivered by USB, that unless the cyber controls are fully wrapped around the environment, you are going to get exposed to these issues. So if we look at some of the as I said, some of the common and the patterns that emerge is that, again, touching on the legacy systems that we need to upgrade. Obviously, the benefit is that by upgrading the systems, we can also introduce a method for maintaining those systems and keeping those systems up to date, right? Because obviously you've got your immediate benefit of upgrading the environment, but the key thing is, how do we keep doing that? How do we keep getting Windows patches up to date? So we can do that through various delivery methods, various layers of resiliency to keep patching and keep production uptime as well. And of course, redundancy and resiliency. Once we introduce that, not only logically in terms of segregation, but also physically. And again, we're always working on the point of view that we understand production uptime is critical. We can't expect any customers to have stuff offline for hours or days trying to patch and update. So that's one of the benefits. And absolutely, visibility and monitoring these environments. All of a sudden, once we start introducing some of our edge systems, real-time analytics and data, we can start pulling out of these environments. And that is obviously moving away from the legacy standalone systems. We've done that a few times where we've moved customers away from those standalone systems into a domain environment, so much more interconnected. And that goes right down from granular controls, access controls, user permissions, reports and information. Once we move into that area, that type of architecture, everything starts to open up and visibility just becomes so much more easier for them. I mean, they're just a few. We could talk all day about the benefits, I think, but I think people are starting to understand these now and starting to engage with us and talk with us around these solutions. But for us, I think the message is that these systems that we build and these systems that we can design are not only functional from an output perspective, but they're secure, they're resilient, and it will enable the customer to fulfill any kind of reporting or data analytics requirements, and ultimately could deliver the competitive edge to them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. In summary, of course, there are many threats due to system vulnerabilities and cyber attacks, which you've highlighted, but there are also many efficiencies from an increasingly digitalized and connected world.
Yes, absolutely, would agree with that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you soon.
No problem. Thanks, Rain.
Bye.